Hi, today I'm going to talk to you guys about the Primary Arms SLX MD25. It's a pretty new optic from Primary Arms. They released it last year, and I went on their industry forum and I was asking a bunch of questions. How does it do with night vision? I know that some of their micros don't do so great, and Marsh from Primary Arms PM'd me and said, well, do you want to try it out? So he sent me one, and I've had it for about 3 or 4 months now. I've shot it some. Hope to shoot it a lot more, but ammo prices are what they are. This is a 25mm objective optic, so it's got a little bigger objective lens than, say, your standard micros, your Romeo 5s, your T2s, stuff like that. My hope was that it would let a little more light in, because I've got these 30mm Primary Arms optics, and I like these a lot. They seem to let in enough light to shoot passive. I've got this one here on a custom run 2.24 height ADM mount that ADM did for a couple of us that asked for it. And if you notice, I also have an ADM mount here. I'm a big fan of ADM. It's not a very expensive optic to buy. It's $170 on primaryarms.com, which puts it nicely between your $100 options like the Romeo 5 and the Primary Arms Advanced Micro Dot, and more expensive stuff like the MRO or some of the lower end EOTechs. Uses this rotary dial here for brightness, and when we cut in later for a closer shot, I'll show you more about that. Capped adjustments. It's rated at 50,000 hour battery life. That's probably on one of the medium settings. I haven't had any issues, but I do store it turned off, as this isn't my home defense gun, so there's no reason to leave it on all the time. Now for what you guys came here to hear about. How does it work with night vision? Well, I'll cut to some night vision footage later that compares it to other options in the price bracket, and also shows you the two night vision settings. It has two. The lowest one is honestly a little too dim for use outside of truly dark nights, like under tree cover with cloud cover, shooting passive only. If you turn on your IR illuminator, it completely washes out the dot. The second, the higher one, works pretty good. It could be a bit brighter, and sometimes I even use the lowest visible setting. As long as your tube isn't hard mounted behind the optic, you won't damage your tube. You might see a little ghosting in the tube, but it'll go away once you expose it to some more light and it kind of evens out. As far as clarity of the glass, it seems on par with or better than the 20mm optics, while still having the advantage of that bigger objective to bring in a little more light. As far as night vision mounts, this has got a lower 1/3 ADM mount on it. It takes any T1 mount. The mounts that come with it are fine. I just wanted a little more height. Something you'll notice is that it sits a little taller than your average 20mm red dot on a standard T1 mount. I'll cut to some footage here. This is showing it compared to a Romeo 5 on a 1.93 height Geisley mount. And you can see it sits a little bit taller over the center line. So in conclusion, where does this sit compared to other red dots? I think if you're going to shoot passive, you would see advantage with this over the $100 tier optics. It won't be as good as an EOTech EXPS3 or an Aimpoint T2. But there are some tricks I can show you guys, like mounting it a couple slots back really makes a difference with a cheaper glass on how much you can see through the optic. Finally, I want to hear your guys' opinions. Do you think it's worth reviewing stuff on the lower end for night vision stuff? I know a lot of people out there are looking to get into night vision. Coming soon, I should have a video on night vision in each price bracket, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. What can you get, what your options are. Is it worth getting night vision if you don't have $5,000? Spoiler alerts, yes it is. I plan to use this loaner AR-22 that's on now and basically let people burn it up, shoot as much as they want, because I can provide the ammo for free and get their opinion on it. In this clip, you can see the dot is very clean. It's turned down to the highest IR setting. In this clip, it starts on setting 3, which is the first visible setting, and I turn it down. That is the highest low light setting. And then I turn on the IR, and you can see the dot washes out completely. Then I turn it down to the lowest setting, and you can barely see it. Then I turn it back up to the lowest visible setting, which is number 3, and you can see it just fine when you turn on the IR. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. We hope to have more footage coming out soon. We've got some night shoots coming up to get some more actual shooting footage and less tabletop stuff, because I know it's pretty boring.